Correspondent Laura Paskus continues her series of interviews with journalists around the state as they cover COVID-19 in their communities. Arlisa Basenti is a reporter with the Navajo Times, which covers the entire 27,000 square mile Navajo Nation. It's the hardest hit part of our state.
Arlisa, thanks so much for joining me today. The Navajo Nation continues to be hit hardest by the COVID-19 outbreak. Over 2,500 cases and 79 deaths just as of Tuesday. What are some of the contributing factors, and who do you see being affected most of all?
Well, obviously the contributing factors there's been so many articles, and the mass media has been able to put a spotlight on the disparities of Navajo Nation that has been plaguing the Navajo Nation for years, such as access to water. There's limited access to water. 30% of the Navajo Nation does not have water, as well as lack of electricity and, just multi-generational homes. I grew up in one of those, and I have no complaint. I loved it. I had family over all the time, but that does cause the spread, especially if you have one member of the family who's sick. It's not just the fact that we all live in one home, it's that we always want to take care of one another. That's how I was raised, and that's how many of our Navajo citizens were raised. You take care of your family, and that's probably the major contributing factors to this.
And are you seeing, is it elders who are being affected by the virus, or is it everybody, any age?
From the numbers that I've seen, the people who are COVID-19 positive, their average age is 49. When look at the average age of those who have succumbed to COVID-19, which is 79 today, it's the average 65, I believe. Basically, everyone's being impacted in many different ways. Not just getting sick, it's the family as well. I've seen so many GoFundMe accounts. It's heartbreaking to see all these GoFundMe accounts of people who are coming to COVID-19. And then, I speak to our Navajo Nation president, who is out in the communities distributing foods to families who are trying to stay home and who are trying to survive through these curfews that is implemented by our Navajo Department of Health. And he's giving these supplies and these foods, and he's saying people are struggling. And it doesn't matter the age, because everyone is struggling in one way or another.
Right. So as you mentioned, there is a curfew, and then the mayor of Gallup asked the governor to issue and then extend a lockdown order for Gallup. Can you talk about why these closures are so important and how people are responding to them?
These closures are, especially with Gallup, a border town like Gallup I live 30 miles from Gallup. It is a big part of Indian country, because not only Navajos, the Pueblos and the Zuni Pueblos, and other tribes around the area, they go to Gallup. They go for supplies because they have Walmart, they have Safeway, they have Albertsons, they have other stores that are utilized heavily to get either hay or animal feed, animal food. So to close off Gallup, it was kind of a surprise. It was a surprise, but it was a needed thing to do, because so many people, although the Navajo Nation is saying, please stay home, one person at a time to go grocery shopping, you would still see people in Gallup shopping with their family. You were still doing their laundry. And so, yeah, it was an important decision to make, and it was needed. But the notification part is what me personally, it could have been done a little bit better than what they did.
Right. So I follow you on Twitter, and our audience should as well. You're one of my favorite people to follow on Twitter. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was what has the response been from people who live in and around Gallup and the Navajo Nation versus people coming through perhaps on Interstate 40? What have you seen?
Okay, I was on I-40 this weekend, and there's a last station that is operated by the Nation Center. And they have, wear masks, please, you won't be allowed in. And there's truckers and tourists who are going through, and they don't have their masks. And they're asking rudely to these sales associates, why do I have to wear a mask? I'm just going to be in here for a few minutes. I'm not going to be here that long. But, those are the orders brought down by the Navajo Department of Health. And here at Navajo Nation, we are taking those orders really seriously, to the point where we're all, you have to go into a store with a mask. So the people in Navajo Nation are abiding by those from what I've seen. And tourists, I've seen tourists still on the roads who are supposed to be closed to visitors. And I still see that around. And some of the orders to people who are not from the Navajo Nation, it seems as though abiding by it is kind of difficult, and they're and it seems like prize at it.
Right. Well, Arlisa, thank you so much for all of your great coverage, and I hope that you and your family stay safe.
Thank you so very much. But yes, thank you for listening, and thank you for reaching out.